Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 31st. You have this mongoose. It says self-assertiveness, genuineness, and candidness. You have this kiwi. It says awareness, psychic attunement, and fidelity. So yeah, your intuition is going to be on fire this week, and I would trust any of your gut instincts, even just your first instinct that pops into your head when you enter into any new situations or anything that you're dealing with in life. I would really trust that, trust your gut this week is kind of what I'm getting here from those first two cards. I also would make sure that you are more assertive. Something that I think has come up a lot for Taurus is needing to assert themselves and, needing to kind of claim their power and not put other people ahead of themselves. So I think that's what you need to do is if you deserve something, I think you need to claim it, right? And, don't, put other people in front of that, if that makes sense. Probably not. I don't even know what I'm saying today, Taurus. So there you go. Take it or leave it, right? You have the Judgment card, the Ace of Cups, and the Justice card. This is coming up in your current general energies, and the Judgment card can represent a wake-up call. It is kind of interesting. I always like to point out things that I notice in the readings. And, one thing that I've noticed is it seems like people are waking up this week. So even though the retrogrades aren't necessarily over this week, I think, Mercury ends on the 7th or whatever. And, so even though they're not technically over, people could feel that kind of waking up energy or could be feeling more clear. Usually retrogrades are worse at the beginning and at the end, right? But I don't know. Part of me feels that because we've had so many retrogrades since November, we have not had a break from retrogrades since November, that maybe people are just kind of used to it or have gotten used to the retrograde craziness. And, that could be why people have this kind of feeling of waking up or feeling of a release. And, that kind of makes sense. So, again, that's the feeling I get off of this card. You have the Ace of Cups, which can represent your emotions overflowing, being very happy, which is great. The Ace of Cups could be an offer of love. We don't see anyone here in this reading yet. That could change in a minute. But, I kind of feel that right now we're in a time of fulfillment. And I'm sure you're saying, well, I'm not fulfilled. And exactly. No one's coming to save you, Taurus. We have to fulfill ourselves. And, I've been telling everyone this because it's super important. We have to go find things that bring us fulfillment. It could be anything. It could be going for a walk. It could be a hobby. It could be whatever. But we have, I believe that everyone on Earth right now needs to get as much fulfillment as they possibly can in whatever way they possibly can, because the more you're fulfilled, the better things will go. Plain and simple. You have the Justice card. Some of you could just be feeling this rebalancing kind of energy. To me, it looks like work. We go over to the Eight of Pentacles. So I don't think things are necessarily perfect here, Taurus, but I do feel that work-wise, there could be more fairness, or maybe you feel like you're getting paid your worth or your value. So again, I kind of feel just more fairness for your work or more results even. I even think that some of you could be seeing better results this week for your work, or if you have your a business, you could be seeing better results in that as well. So this looks pretty good to me here for you, Taurus, and let's see what we get. With the Judgment card, you show up here with the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is your card. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. I kind of feel just saying that you're waking up, that's you. The other thing is, I said trust your gut, right? The Hierophant, he is the bridge between heaven and earth. He communicates with both sides. The Judgment card, the angel on the Judgment card, is your higher self angel. So, clearly you are communicating with, your guides, your ancestors, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But this could be very subtle, it might be a gut instinct. And that's kind of how it popped into my head at the beginning of the reading, is that it would be subtle. And so I feel you need to trust those subtle feelings, and don't question it as well. It's I see it all the time where people are I'm asking the universe for a sign. Then they'll see two 2 on the clock, and then they'll be like, I need another sign, and then the universe will show them 11:11 on the clock, and then they'll say, I need another sign, right? So when you get a sign, accept it as a sign. That's the thing, is eventually the universe is going to be like, how many times do I have to tell you to go and take action on this thing that you're thinking about, right? So a sign is a sign, and that's definitely popping into my head. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Six of Cups here. Yeah, like enjoyment, a lot of childlike energy. So the Six of Cups can be your inner child. And with the Ace of Cups, this can encourage you to be more playful, to enjoy yourself more so that you can fill up your cups, right? And the Six of Cups can also be about protection. You know, these children are inside these castle walls, and they are being guarded by this guard over here. So I don't think it's saying you have to like protect yourself. I think what it's saying is like create some protected time for yourself. Create some time to go be playful or to enjoy yourself. It's not really protection. It's more about, you know, to me it's saying, you know, create some time for that to happen. It's like you're setting boundaries with yourself. Maybe that's a better way to put it. And you're saying, no, like I'm going to have 20 minutes every single day where I go enjoy myself, right? And whatever it is, I would do it. With the Justice card, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. You know, it's happy home, happy family. I kind of feel fortune after difficulty for you with that Justice card. I'm not saying things are, you know, going to be super easy in your life or things are just going to magically happen, but I do feel there's like a better flow with that Eight of Pentacles, especially in work or business. So, you know, it just looks like better energy in general. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Boss card. It says, gone are the days of answering to anyone. Your destiny is in your own hands. You have this freedom of location. It says, a truly prosperous life is one with freedom to travel and freedom to live in the location that you desire. We have the world in this reading, so any of you who are thinking about traveling or moving, you definitely could be doing that. You could also be bossing up here. So you could be becoming a boss or, starting a business or starting a career or something like that. So I do think that would be good for you here, Taurus. But definitely, freedom has been a major theme for you for like 2 years now at least. Uranus and Taurus is pushing your Taurus to become more free on a very simple level. So anything you could do to be more free would be a good idea. You have the Death card, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. I think there is a change in how you're making money, is what I think it is, because the Queen of Pentacles is resourcefulness. Three of Cups, these three ladies are celebrating a harvest on their card. The Death card obviously is a change. So on the Death card, the King is dead right here, and it represents the death of establishment. When we had Pluto in Capricorn is the death of establishment. So yes, I understand that Pluto is not in Capricorn any longer. Doesn't matter. Things don't happen overnight. So you could be experiencing some changes in like work or business or whatever you're doing, and it could be happening now, even though Pluto has left Capricorn. The King being dead just says things are not meant to last forever, and so you could be making a change in how you get your resources, which we have the Queen of Pentacles right here. Queen of Pentacles is a very intelligent resource gatherer, right? She gathers her resources in different ways. She also looks for the best way to gather her resources. It's like sometimes I think we come up with ideas in life on how to make money, and we learn how to make money, but doing a certain task, but maybe there's a better way for us. And so she really figures it out. Like if she were to try to start social media, for example, to start making money, she would like try video, she would try a podcast, she would try writing, and she would figure out like where she fits best. What most people do is they think, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and that's where I'm going to make a bunch of money. But it's like, maybe you're not good on camera, right? Maybe you would do better at writing. She takes the time to figure out what is best for her. And that's definitely popping into my head. Is like, there's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say. And, what way is best for you? I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. What I can say is I feel that you are going to figure it out. You have the Three of Cups here. Again, these three people are celebrating the harvest that is going on around them, these pumpkins that are growing on the card. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be having harvest or creating a harvest in your life, and of course that would be a good thing. I would encourage you to get the help of other people. Three of Cups is other people, and it can be other people helping you or guiding you, or other people could be telling you what you're good at, or they could be supporting you in some way. And I would definitely encourage that with this Three of Cups energy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting there. With the Death card, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. It is independence as well. Amazing card for money. She has a skill. She has these grapes growing behind her. And grapes in the tarot represent something that's very difficult to grow, but she can grow it well. So I feel like you have a skill that could make you very successful. But the Nine of Pentacles is about focusing on that skill and making it happen. And so, yeah, that's what I would do here with this card, is I would make sure that if you're working on a skill, that you really focus on it and make it happen. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, doing something different. I mean, the Death card really says there's a change coming in work for you, or how you make your money. Even if you're retired, you could be doing something different, or changing things, or even if you're retired, you could be starting something on the side. I don't know, everybody's different. But the Two of Wands encourages you to explore, which is exactly what I said on the Queen of Pentacles. He is standing at the top of this castle. The story of this card is he thinks he knows how everything works, but he needs to be more open-minded. And so I feel like this is saying, sure, maybe you think you know how things work in the world, but just go and try things. It's like, I cannot tell you how many people in my life have told me that doesn't work, and then I go and I make it work, right? So, it's like, I've had businesses since I was 16 years old. I started my first business cleaning fish tanks, right? And since that time, I cannot tell you how many people have told me that doesn't work. It works for me. So my bank account disagrees with what you're saying doesn't work right now. So again, people will tell you all day long something doesn't work just because they haven't done it. The Two of Wands says go and explore it anyway, right? And see what happens and just go from there. With the Three of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is carrying a heavy burden. It seems to me like people are just naturally looking at burdens that they're carrying right now and releasing them. But we have to see the mess to clean it up, right? So the Ten of Wands sometimes says you could be feeling pressure from certain people in your life, but maybe they're a mess. Maybe they're putting their responsibilities on you, and you need to be the one to say, no, stop. I don't take care of your problems. I take care of my own. So go take care of your problems over there, right? And that's what I would do with this Ten of Wands. I said something about boundaries with that Six of Cups. Again, we don't think of the Six of Cups as a card of boundaries, but it is. So, I think setting healthy boundaries with people who are causing burdens or coming to you with their own problems or whatever, telling those people like, get lost, goodbye. It would be a good thing this week. Next in the area, messages from your future self. You have the Stag Spirit says, take the lead. Didn't we say that at the beginning? I'm pretty sure. You have this Beaver Spirit says, lay a solid foundation. It seems to me like we're in a foundational time where we could really be working on those foundational activities, or we could be doing things to build solid foundations in our lives. And that's what I would be doing with these two cards, is taking the lead on anything new that you're working on. You have the Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords, most people read as lying, cheating, stealing, which it can represent. Of course, I would be careful of that. But really, Seven of Swords is a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. He is stealing those swords from this army in the background here. And so he's doing something, but tactically. Instead of attacking the army, he's doing things in a different way. I like the message I'm getting for you here, Taurus, is like, I would be looking for shortcuts. And no, I'm not really talking about shortcuts. Usually shortcuts don't work. It's like, I think that there are shortcuts that are really just like the efficient way to do something. And that's what I would be looking at here with the Seven of Swords, is instead of like just, doing something that you're creating or working on, make sure you're doing it in the efficient way. The other thing is, he has these polka dots on his cloak. We're definitely in a time where I feel people could be taking things too seriously. The Seven of Swords says, don't take things too seriously. The polka dots in the tarot represent needing to be more playful, needing to take a more lighthearted approach to what you're doing. And I feel as long as you do that, things will go well. You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, of course, can represent a change in your fortunes. It can represent a turnaround as well. And you have the Six of Pentacles. I don't think things are perfect, but I think going up to the Six of Pentacles, that this is saying you're starting to get results. And the Six of Pentacles, wants you to keep doubling down on the results that you're getting. So, I feel this is more kind of like a financial turnaround that could be coming in for you, because we have some great financial cards in this reading. And I feel like it's saying pay attention to what works. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which says you're very close. He only has one more pentacle to complete, and then he will be done with what he's building here on the Eight of Pentacles. He's mastering a craft, and you have the Nine of Pentacles as well. The Nine of Pentacles, she has those grapes, which is like some sort of skill that she has. But if she doesn't use the skill, no one knows. So he's building something. He is working diligently to build something that he can show off, right? But he's really focusing on the quality of what he is working on. So if you're building or creating anything, I would really focus on the quality of what you're creating. That's going to be the most important thing with the Eight of Pentacles. And really it says you're almost done with what you're working on. So there you go. With the Seven of Swords, yes, you have the Ace of Pentacles, so this could be like an opportunity that you're receiving. It could even just be an idea or something that pops into your head, and I would just research all the different angles of all the different angles of approach, So if you come up with a business idea, come up with different ways that you could, start it and see what happens and play with it and experiment with it. Not really a love reading, but, same thing with love is maybe you have a certain way that you start relationships. I think we all do. If you really look at your relationships, they probably all have started like the same way, and I feel the Ace of Pentacles is saying, look at the different ways and, try different ways to get things started and get things going and just see how things go. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, a little bit of overthinking. This is like your one challenge here is Two of Swords. Again, I would stay open-minded. I'm not calling you closed-minded or anything like that, but with that Two of Wands, Two of Swords is thinking this or that. She thinks that there's only two ways that something can go. But there's this new island behind her. And I really just feel that staying flexible, believing that things can go a different way would be very helpful for you, Taurus. Not getting too fixed on outcomes or thinking if I start this project, it has to go this way, that type of mindset. But also if you want to do something don't ruin ideas that you have is kind of what I feel here. I don't know how to say this, Taurus, but it's if you're saying to yourself everybody who's done this thing that I'm about to do, they either fail or they are become a millionaire. It's don't have extremes of how things can go. I think it's encouraging you to just stay flexible in the outcome. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Death card, again, literally saying that there's going to be a change in your work, literally what I said right here. So there's some sort of change in the way that you work. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily quitting your job. It doesn't mean that you're quitting your business. It just means that there's a change coming in the way that you do your work. And I would say it's more efficient because, again, Eight of Pentacles, he's just working on one thing. He's not working on 1,000 things at once. He's just, focused on what is in front of him. And, maybe that's a change that's coming. It's instead of working on 1,000,000 things at once, you could be just really focusing in. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Lighthouse card. It says, you're a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. You have this Entanglement card. It says, if you realize you're in an entanglement, it may be time to take a break. So there you go. This is showing up in the good stuff, though, so I think you're shining bright, or at least you should be. Eight of Pentacles really says that you should be getting as much attention as you can on your work. So the Lighthouse card says, if you're working on a piece of art, or if you're building a business, or if you're just trying to get attention, now would be a great time, and it is a great time to get positive attention. You have the Six of Pentacles, the World, and the Hangman. Six of Pentacles is about balance. It's about equal give and take. It's about generosity. I kind of feel that, which I never really say that with the Six of Pentacles. I think the true meaning of the Six of Pentacles is planting seeds in a direction. You're basically seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and you're doubling down on the good stuff. But I kind of feel that you could feel that people are being more generous to you at this time, or maybe you're noticing that people are being more generous. So I feel pretty good about that with the Six of Pentacles, I also feel there's more financial balance, obviously. Finances look really good here, Taurus. So if you've been trying to grow your finances, I think you are. You have the World The world, of course, can represent an accomplishment or an achievement, also completion. It's clear to me that you're getting to the end of something. We have all these cards, death card twice, judgment. It's like you're completing one thing, starting something new. And so, whatever that is, I think would be good for you. Wouldn't surprise me if some of you are moving. You have the Two of Wands, you have this card, the Judgment card, the Wheel of Fortune. You had a card over here that said something about moving. So if you want to move, there could be a move coming in for you. With that Lighthouse card as well in the world, I do think of the world as a card of standing out in the world. It kind of says like you need to stand out in the world or you need to get attention, and I definitely would with that card. Next, you have the Hangman. The Hangman is about gaining enlightenment. A lot of people have had the Hangman this week, and again, it kind of makes sense to me because we're at the end of the retrogrades. During the retrogrades, a very confusing time. When we get to the end of the retrograde, that's when we gain the knowledge and the wisdom that we needed to learn during the retrograde. So, I don't know. It's like kind of boring and kind of obvious to me when the Hangman comes up at the end of retrogrades because we've learned our lessons and now we're ready to move forward. And, maybe the Hangman is saying it's time to move forward. You've gained all the enlightenment that you need to. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. You have more financial stability for sure coming in. The Four of Pentacles and the good stuff is just stable finances. And, one thing I will say is I would be careful of like playing it too safe. I'm not saying like take ridiculous risk in finances and things like that, but, Four of Pentacles is kind of like resting on your laurels. I've seen this a lot in business where it's like people get to a level and they like just coast they stay at that level and they don't keep growing. And usually what happens is they get to that level, they buy a BMW, and then their level starts coming down because they have more expensive bills to pay for, and so they kind of like come down, right? And then they get to a point where they can't pay for their BMW anymore, and then they start going back up again, right? So that's what happens when we rest on our laurels. And the Four of Pentacles, I feel, is saying like, don't do that. With the World card, you have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. Also says you could be very attractive at this time. So there's a little bit of love in the reading, but it's not really a love reading. And I feel the Queen of Wands is saying, it's time for attention. So if you want love, I would definitely go get attention, stand out, go out in public, all that other good stuff. With the Hangman, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Love it. I think Ten of Pentacles is basically Taurus's job for the next 20 years, is to create a life worth living, whatever that means for you. Ten of Pentacles is an amazing card for money. Money looks amazing in this reading, for sure. But I always say, we don't just get the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is something that we will all work on forever. And how big or good it is up to us. So I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is encouraging you to live that dream life or to create that dream life for yourself. And I feel you will be very happy that you did if you like put in the work. The whole point of the Ten of Pentacles is about being able to see it. It says that you have a vision of your Ten of Pentacles. You have an idea of what your dream life looks like. Now start creating. You have this light card. It says stepping into new experiences, judgment. Judgment card, they're in their coffins. Coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. And so they're just stepping into new experiences. You have this teapot card. It says deep friendship of someone of the same sex. Everybody's had these cards of like really great socializing cards, but Three of Cups. Three of Cups is concentrated connections. It's like the people where you spend time with them and you leave feeling fulfilled, not drained, right? And so I think that for whatever reason, the universe is really encouraging people to, kind of spend time with those quality connections, not just any old connection. You have this Claw card. It says, be careful, do not take risks. Anytime that I say that you should take risks, this card comes up and says, do not take risk. I disagree with this card right now. We are in a time of risk. Like, we have to take risks right now to be successful. Now, one thing I will say is don't take risks that are going to cause major damage, right? We should be taking small, tiny little risks that aren't going to matter if we fail or succeed, right? And so, that's what this card should say, according to me, because I said so, right? You have this Teardrops card. It says great personal sorrow. I don't know. Reading looks good to me. You could be a little bit sad about releasing something from the past. I think fixed signs right now could be sad because, life is different since, like, COVID started, basically. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people could be thinking back to that time and being like, oh, I wish I still could do things the same way. But you can't, right? You have the Sunrise card. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. The whole entire reading in one card. So there you go. Definitely could be a new start coming in for you. But this looks really good, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.